Hello everyone, today I'm making another tier list because that's what the Discord asked for, I guess. So yeah, without a lot of explanation, this is just the same as before but this patch, because a lot has changed, I think. Okay, let's look here. First mon, I'm going to be ranking individually. Biumi, yeah, it needs a buff. And with that I mean change puff buff, because an effect which can greatly increase one mon is good, but it should be more of a team buff to support everything instead of just, doing one thing. Because that's not good. Because if it dies, then you're gone anyway, and if there is a Monaco with patience, it will absolutely kill whatever mon you send out next, which isn't the point of using Biumi. Anyway, next up, Trip definitely needs a buff. It's better than Biumi, but it needs a buff. It has too little health to do anything with leech roots or poison powder, and Glamzy is basically just better with leech roots anyway, so other than that, anything it has going for it, like sleep or leech, Glamzy just has it, but better. So I think it needs a buff, maybe a new move, maybe a turbo change, because it's not good. It's just not good at all. Anyway, next to the next tier. Next to the what the okay, anyway. So these guys deserve a buff, but it's not like they're useless if you use them. I mean, these two aren't either, but it's much harder to use them consistently. Okay, first off, probably the worst out of all of these guys, I'm gonna say Aviados. I'm sorry. It has strong fly damage. Hurricane just gets dodged half of the time. And lightweight is good if your opponent just doesn't have anything to hit it with. Because if they do, then Aviados is dead as hell. Okay, next in this tier, Taishan. It's a bit better. It's got a stun, which is pretty consistent. It's got good damage. It's got dodging potential. The biggest problem it has is consistency. If you're a god with Taishan, like Infisus is probably one of the top players, and he's very good with it, with hitting the crits, yeah, then it's very good. But if you miss every single crit, then you're not doing anything with Taishan. You're just not doing anything with it. Now, next up, we have probably a pretty unpopular opinion, Be Strong. Actually, I think Taishan is maybe a bit better. Or maybe it actually goes. Yeah, because Be Strong is good, I would say. Like, it can be useful, I use it myself. But it's not amazing. It's got Cookie Beam, which is good for taking out people like Cryptorb or Geoceon when they're on low health. That's always good about it. Because if you run mostly food attribute, like 9-5, 9 food, 5 normal, your body slam does good amount of damage and you get to 42% insta kill. So yeah, that's mostly this tier. I don't think any other mon is in this tier. maybe Moscow or Malkid, but I would say most mons go in good but not meta. And this is gonna be the hardest part to say which is better. So I'm just gonna go meta first because this tier is very hard to determine. Meta, I would say the best meta mon right now is probably Glamzy. It's meta because Cryptorb is in this tier. Glamzy and Trip Tower both have leech roots, which is extremely good against meditate users in general, and that's why it's meta. They got rid of double mochi, which, oh my god, thank the lord they did that. But other than that, it's still annoying as hell to play against. This thing is still so annoying to see. Plus, if you didn't know, there is a bug. If Mosako leeches Glamzy and Glamzy uses Piro Seed, Mosako will instantly de-leech and you're probably going to die. So yeah, that's not fun. Other than that, Glamzy overall is just good with the healing and stuff. But next up we have, of course, Lundra, which, to be honest, I'm not sure if it's better than Glamzy. I'm just gonna say it's better, because Echo exists now. Freeze Echo is high damage, high speed, yes, it's 5 energy, but still, if you can just do a double stun and then Meteor Rain comes in, plus you have Fly or Healing Bubble of your choice, so it's very good right now. Most mons just, like even Taishan or Ryubi with Jump, just they go over the first freeze and then they instantly get hit by the second. So it's kind of, it didn't matter that they jumped because they're still getting hit by one. Okay, so next, also, Meteor Rain is fucking stupid. It was way worse in the past when there were 5 meteors, but it's still crazy good. So next up we have the boy, the myth, the legend, you know, the one that didn't appear in my last list because I'm a dumbass. Crave Rock. Very good mon. Fury Sharpen Bite is good. Dig Bite Fury is good. Just basically any, like most sets are good. It's good at dealing damage, and Crunch Rise just basically is a full heal. If you get enough Fury, it's basically a full heal. At least you can only use it once. So other than that, I don't see a reason why you would ever run Stoned or Headbutt. Stoned maybe, but Headbutt I don't see why would you use that? Just why? What's the point? Next up on the meta list, yeah, you see this guy? He's not meta. Nope, he's not. I'm not gonna do it. Let's see here. So I'm probably gonna put Mastodon in here, being like after Crave Rock. Mastodon is good for one reason and one reason alone. It's high damage output and freeze stoned. Freeze stoned is probably the only reason why this thing is meta. Although not many people use it, for whatever reason, it's very good. It is very good. Although, I do think that it could be better with some more like attribute points or a bit more health, because yeah, Hardened Shell gives it good defenses, but if you miss that hardened shell and you get hit too much, you obviously just explode. But yeah, it's a very good mon. To be honest, I don't think it really needs a buff. It would just make it more consistent to run. Then next up we have the boy Rezaro. Actually, I think he's a bit better than Mastodon. I don't know if he's better than Craverock, but yeah, something like this. These two could easily be switched. Rezaro is very good because Electrify / Claw. It's great at stunning opponents, it has good damage output, and Gigavolt can do insane amounts of damage if you use it right. It's got a lot of health, and if you want to run a meme build, you can, I guess, Electrify. Wait, no, not Electrify. Aftershock, Fireball, Claw, or Slash. Like, you could do that, but let's be honest. Why would you? I don't know, it just seems like... It doesn't seem like a very good idea. Cause switching just denies Aftershock any effect. So yeah, that's my opinion on it. So, are there any others that might be meta? I mean, I almost never see Exoru anymore. So that's why I'm putting it's in a good, but not meta tier. It is very good. I'ma say it like that. It's got good dodging. With Sharpen you can get a good amount of damage. And in general, it's just a very fast boy. And it has good matchups. But I do think it gets outclassed by Lundra by a lot actually. Lundra with the recent patch became so much better that I think it even counters Exoru at this point, which is not how types should work. Also, Lundra is getting nerfed, by the way. Anyway, back to Exoru. The only real bad thing about Exoru is his lackluster turbo. It's just some damage that can easily be jumped or dodged in general. Yeah, it's one cost, but who cares? It barely does anything. Yeah, if you go full leaf, it does 75 with like Sharpen or something. But that's still not a lot of damage. A turbo is supposed to be strong or good. Exoru just gets held back by it so much. Next up, probably a very unpopular opinion. War Zero is very good, don't get me wrong. I think Exoru's better because War Zero just has a lot more counters. If there's anything that can stun it or just absolutely dodge any of its energy ball or nuke punch damage, it's just basically useless. It's like it gets dodged way too easily. Musuko can fucking beat it if they're dumb. Anyway, the next probably I would say Geocean, not because of its like I think it's good for one reason: Obsidian Armor, Inferno, and Stoned. But a lot of people like Noon or One Croy or whatever his name is in the game. He's a top player and he says Ryubi is better than Geo. And to be honest, how? But yeah, I kind of get it. Ryubi can jump to avoid and Geocean just takes the damage. In this meta right now, it's probably worse. Actually, no, like 4 of these just counter it outright. So I guess, yeah, I guess actually maybe Ryubi is better in this meta. Huh, okay. Also, Furious Flame does a lot of damage. Like, if you're under 25%, it does a lot of damage. And I think really, that's why it's so good. It can do a lot of damage, and it has good defenses. Other than that, it doesn't have much. Then we have a Furrow. I think Furrow is good. Yonsama and Malkid are probably better though. Yonsama probably better than Malkid, but Malkid is more versatile in general. So maybe something like this would fit more, because it's got the turbo game and the copycat, but actually I think this is fine. Yonsama against things like Geo just works so well, and against B-Strong and War Zero it just steals all of their health. It's even good against Cryptorb, because with Meditate, like, he can do a lot of damage to you, but probably the max he can do with a Fireball is like 155, which doesn't kill, leaves you at 10 HP, which gives you the perfect opportunities to Soul Switch. Other than that though, it's pretty unreliable. Malkid, like I said, it has Immaterial, Copycat, like the turbo stealing thing. It's a very good mon, but more so in early fame levels, when people don't realize how easy it is to counter. It may go and deserves a buff, like together with Furrow, but I'm not sure. I think it's good, but the meta kind of fucks it over, and Inferno in general. Furrow is, I don't know. Furrow feels like he's between these two. He's between the B and C tier, because he does a lot of damage. Stampede is a pretty good turbo, and I feel like he's very good, but just I don't think he's very good in this climate. A lot of stuns, a lot of just things that can out damage him and instantly shred him. That with his Fury, which is probably one of its best things, it doesn't get to do a lot. So that's the biggest problem with it. Now, of course, I talked about Croy, one of the top players earlier, and I'm gonna piss him off with this. Moscow, where do I put Moscow? He would say here, the worst mon in the game. I say, fuck you. I'm going to put it here. Yes, above Yonsama. Or maybe actually, I'm not sure. I'm gonna put him above so I piss him off more. But yeah, I do think Musiko is good. It is very good. It has good matchups. Its damage is good. Leech can just destroy some mons, and because of how much Leech can be used, it mostly has 5 energy, which means even in a bad matchup it can just spam fly and survive, basically, for a much longer time, while still doing decent damage. Although somebody has a different opinion on that. Overall, I think it's a good mon. Not the greatest, not the worst, just good. Speaking of just good and maybe not the greatest, the cat. Probably the most balanced mon in the game. That's just basically a fact. Shadow Ball is good. It has 25 damage at max level. And if you know how to use it, Paw is great, and Kadogan is as well. It's a good mon, definitely in certain matchups, and bad in others. I'd say it's pretty bad in this meta. The only matchup it might do decent with is if he runs into a Crave Rock without Dig. But that's basically it, because Rezaro just stun locks it. And overall, the ones it does best against is the ones it can paw easily, say War Zero, Geoceon, Furrow, Cryptorb. But if Cryptorb kills it before it can do anything, then yeah, then paw is not gonna be very useful now, is it? Anyway, we have come to the last mon, the one I've been avoiding. Although I haven't talked about Cryptorb, but I will. Shao Sage. Probably best mon in the game. I'm not gonna lie. This is by far the best mon in the game. Double stance makes it so good. It gets easy switches, it gets high damage, basically insta-kills with suicide stance and acro kick, and overall it's just very good at dealing with some big threats. It's a very good mon, like probably the best in the game, and it probably needs a nerf, but I don't know what they would nerf. Now last but not least, this guy, Cryptorb. Remember last video? Remember that when he was down here? That was a long while ago. No, it wasn't. They gave him Phoenix, and that instantly made him a top tier mon. Because Meditate. Meditate and Phoenix work so well together. It's just like it works way too good. It's just, you get high defense, and you're low on health, no problem. Here, take a free, half health heal for 2 energy. That's insanity. Plus Deceive. Deceive can make even Mosako have problems against it, which is probably one of its best counters. Other than, Paw. And after all of that, I have this list. Also, one more thing about Cryptorb. One more thing. For some godforsaken reason, they gave it Inferno. Why? Why? Just why? Anyway, that's my list. If you disagree, comment down below what you disagree with. I know you're gonna be there noon, so if you're still watching this, great for you, I guess. But other than that, if you want to talk to me or the developers or any other person in the community, just go to the game, open up your menu, and you'll see that there is a Discord link. So if you wanna talk to more people, go to the Discord. So that's all. See you tomorrow when the new patch will probably drop and make this whole list redundant. Because that's just gonna be my luck. Well, see you in the next video, I guess. Toodles.